Geronimo Stilton, The Cat Gang, Part 2. The black van again. Sour Swiss rolls. The black van that I had seen yesterday was parked in front of the bank again. I turned as white as a slice of mozzarella. A minute later, a bright flash blinded me. Can you guess who was taking my picture? It was Red Paparazzi, of course. Not today, Red, I began to tell him. Then suddenly 4 rodents dressed in black sprang from the van. Red tried to take a picture, but the smallest rodent swiped the camera while we were all shoved into the bank. I gulped. Something told me these rodents were up to no good. The one and the only incredible Cat is next on the scene. As soon as we were inside, the biggest rodent immediately disconnected the bank surveillance camera. Hello everyone, the smallest rodent squeaked. I'd like you all to meet the one and only, the incredible Cat. An enormous cat appeared right before our eyes. What a scary feline! Cat will obey all my orders, the smallest rodent, who seemed to be the leader, continued. I'd advise you to do as I say if you don't want to become cat kibble. Benjamin squeezed my paw tightly in fear. I tried not to scream. Holy cheese, that little mouse has some grip. Meanwhile, the smallest rodent had turned to the bank manager, Martin Money Whiskers. Open the safe, money bags, the robber demanded. It's Money Whiskers, grumbled the manager. He led the robbers to the safe. The giant cat followed, claws screeching against the marble floor. Ugh, how I hated that sound. It reminded me of paw nails on the chalkboard. Cat really needed to find himself a giant nail file or a cat salon. I was so busy thinking about nails, I didn't see Money Whiskers hit a red button on the wall. Within seconds, steel bars shot up from the floor. The bars created a barrier between the robbers and the rest of us. What a fabulous anti-theft system! Everyone cheered, well, except the bank robbers. The gang kept piling up money from the safe into the laundry sacks, and then the strangest thing happened. The leader of the robbers ordered Cat to advance, and to our amazement, he did. Cat walked through the steel bars as if they were invisible. He towered over Money Whiskers with his teeth bared. Oh, what a fur-raising sight! Your tricks won't work with us, Moneybags, the little robber squeaked. Now, if you hit any more buttons, I'm going to tell Cat to forget the fish sandwich he packed for lunch and eat you instead. It's up to you. The manager held up his paws in defeat. Then the 4 robbers left the bank with the money and the big cat disappeared into thin air, exactly as he had appeared. It was strange, very strange. I'd like to fill you in what happened next, but I can't. That's because as soon as the robbers left, I fainted. When I opened my eyes, I found myself in my office. Wake up, Uncle Geronimo, said my nephew Benjamin. You're okay. Quit napping, Jerry Berry, said my sister Thea. We've got a story to work on. Check out the photo I took, Mr. Stilton. That was Red Paparazzi. Photo? I bolted upright. How did you get a picture without a camera? I asked Red. Resourcefulness, Mr. Stilton, he replied. I carry a digital micro camera in my hair at all times. Red showed me the images. But these are pictures of the ceiling and the inside of your ear, I observed. Oops, said Red, snatching back the photos and flipping through them. Here it is. He held up a blurry photo. It showed the back of the giant cat. "Can we publish it?" Red squeaked. The next day, the photo was on the front page of the Rodents Gazette. The paper sold like freshly baked cheese Danish at the Pastry Rat. That's the name of the bakery. "There's something strange about that photo," Benjamin said. "Look at the cat." "Of course, Uncle G," exclaimed Bugsy. "Look at the cat." "Right, the cat," I mumbled, though I had no idea what they were squeaking about. "If there's no shadow," said Bugsy, "and it's transparent," said Benjamin, "the only possible conclusion," added Thea, "is that the cat is a ghost," I stammered, feeling faint again. Benjamin giggled. "No, Uncle, the conclusion is that the cat is a fake." "Now we just have to figure out how the robbers make the cat appear," Bugsy said. "A fake, of course," I coughed, pretending I knew what that meant. Lucky for me, I wasn't in the dark for long. Benjamin suggested we ask my old professor friend, Professor Von Walt, for help. Professor Von Walt is a brilliant scientist and inventor. We headed for his laboratory. "Ah, yes," squeaked the professor after he had examined the photo. "There's no doubt that this is a hologram. It's a three-dimensional image that is projected and seems to be real." He turned off the light and turned on something that looked like an old film projector. A second later, an amazing tropical rainforest appeared all around us. Then we heard the most terrifying roar. Frozen in horror, I watched as a ferocious tiger materialized before us. "Good kitty," I squeaked, trembling with fear. Suddenly, Benjamin and Bugsy began walking towards the beast with strange smiles on their snouts. "No!" I yelled, jumping in front of them to protect them. But then the weirdest thing happened. The tiger opened its jaws and I passed through them without even a scratch. The professor turned on the light. "What did I tell you?" he said. "Some holograms are so good they seem as real as that tiger," he exclaimed. Benjamin hugged me. "You were very courageous, Uncle Geronimo," he squeaked. "Yep, we sure wouldn't want to get eaten by a hologram, Uncle G," Bugsy teased. I coughed. Oh, how embarrassing. Professor Von Walt explained that in order to make a hologram, the projector-like machine has to be close by, otherwise the image will be blurred. So the robbers had to set up a projector somewhere near the bank, Thea reasoned. "And I know just how they did it," Benjamin exclaimed suddenly. "Me too," Bugsy and Thea shouted in unison. Even Red Paparazzi chimed in. "Of course, it's so obvious," he agreed. "Obvious, right," I added, completely clueless. Why was I always the last one to figure things out? Later that night, I called Benjamin and he explained everything to me. Over the next week, the cat gang continued to rob the banks of New Mouse City. The robbers followed the same routine every time. They parked the van in front of the bank. Then they robbed the bank. When it was time to leave, they made Cat Cat or the hologram of Cat Cat chase everyone away, and after that, the robbers were free to drive off with the stolen loot. Even though I published an article in the Rodents Gazette about the fake cat with an interview from Professor Von Walt, no one in New Mouse City believed me. Even the mayor, Friedrich Fuzzypaws, insisted that the terrifying cat was as real as whiskers on a mouse. He told everyone not to worry because the police had a plan. And what the police had planned, we will listen to in part 3 of our story, The Cat Gang.